Hi student, this is about polynomial. One of the very first few concept that student need to know is about this equality of polynomial. It's very similar to compare coefficient, or we say totally the same. So let's take a look. So for this is that when two polynomial they are equal to each other, like for example here polynomial P is equals to polynomial Q. Okay, then we can say that this ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d is equals to 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus x plus 4. So by comparing, okay, the x cubed compare with the x cubed, so the a is 2. X squared compare with x squared, coefficient will be b equals to 3. C coefficient of x compare with coefficient of x will be c equals to -1. Comparing coefficient of constant, it will be 4. So this is how we compare. Sometimes people will call this as comparing left hand side and right hand side. So depends on how you use it. So in generally there are two methods. One is by substituting suitable value of x. So what values? It will depends on how many brackets of linear expression are there. Then we decide. We will showcase more examples how we apply this and eliminate all except one unknown constant, which means that when we sub values into x, the whole polynomial will only be left with one unknown. That's what it meant. Okay, so let me showcase method 1 first, method 2 in a while. So in this question, okay, we have x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5 equals to ax bracket x minus 1 square plus b bracket x minus 1 plus c. So observe the equations given. You can see that inside the bracket, key thing, inside the bracket, the keyword is inside any bracket. So inside the bracket, we have one linear expression, which is x minus 1. Okay, so this is the key point. So when we want to sub in values for x, we will look for all this, the internal side or the inside of a bracket, whereby inside the bracket is linear expression. Because once we sub in or we make all this bracket 0, a lot of the unknown will be gone. Like for example, this case, if I sub x equals to 1 inside here, it will be 1 minus 1 equals 0. Then my a and my b will be gone, which satisfies this statement of once we sub in a suitable x value, there will only be one unknown left. So the first step will be let x equals to 1. Okay, so it will be 1 cubed minus 2 1 square plus 5 equals to c. Okay, so with this, my c value will be equals to 4. Okay, then after that, there's no more linear expression inside the bracket for us to sub in. So what do? If there's nothing more for us to sub, we can sub in 0, which is the universal number to sub in. So I'll say let x equals to 0. So I have 5 on my left, because 0 minus 0 plus 5, I have 5. So then this term here also will be 0, because here will be a times 0. So 0 plus b bracket 0 minus 1 plus c, whereby my c is 4, which is found in the previous step. So I'll have 5 minus 4 equals to negative b. My b equals to -1. Okay, then student will say, hey, now no more number to sub in. Then how? Since now we only left with one unknown, which is a, we can sub any value. Okay, but please be more logical. Don't sub in number like 1000, 2000. It's too big. So what do? We sub in the next number, or the next smaller number. So far we have sub in 0 and 1. So the next smaller number will be 2. Then some student will argue, say, why don't we sign negative 1? Can. Why I don't choose negative 1 is because there's a negative. Sign may change. So that's why I choose to submit a positive number instead. So let x equals to 2. So I will have 2 cube. Make sure you have a bracket. Minus 2 bracket 2 square plus 5 equals to a bracket 2 minus 1 square minus, because b is negative 1, so minus 1 bracket 2 minus 1 plus 4. So over here I have 5 equals to 2a minus 1 plus 4. So 2 equals to 2a, a equals to 1. So you can see over here is that if we use the substitute suitable number, suitable value of x in, if our previous answer is wrong or previous unknown answer is wrong, my final answer will be wrong. So how do we go about to so-called avoid this type of cumulative error? So there will be the second method, equate the coefficient of the corresponding terms and or constant on both sides, which means that we compare coefficient. This is compare coefficient. Okay, how do we compare? Let's take a look. Okay, so with this, let us copy the question again. X cubed minus 2x squared plus 5 equals to ax, x minus 1 square plus b bracket x minus 1 plus c. Take note, if possible, try not to expand everything on the side whereby it's containing all the bracket and bracket square to avoid the working to be very long. But sometimes we may need to expand, like for example this one is good to expand a bit. Why? So that later it's easier for us to visualize. Okay, so with this I will say by comparing, take note all these statements must write, by comparing coefficient of x squared, so x cubed, this is the x cubed, so I'll compare the x cubed on the right hand side. So the only term that gives us x cubed is this ax times x squared, no more x cubed on the right hand side. So I'll say so I now write down the coefficient only, 1 equals to a. So my first answer is I got a equals to 1, very fast. Then next one we have a few choice. We can compare x squared, but if we compare x squared, some things we need to be mindful of, because x squared on the left hand side is minus 2, but x squared on the right there are many. Like for example ax times negative 2x, I have negative 2a x squared. Okay, then no more, so only negative 2ax squared, but we already have a, so we cannot compare coefficient of x squared, even though we can, but it won't help us in finding the three unknown a, b, c. We already have a, so we cannot compare x squared. Okay, reason is if you compare x squared coefficient or coefficient of x squared, we cannot find any other two unknown. We find a again, which is useless. Please don't waste the effort. Then we compare x. So if you compare x, you can see left hand side there is no x term, which means that the coefficient of x on the left hand side is plus 0x. So the coefficient on the left hand side of x is 0. So by comparing coefficient of x, okay, left hand side is 0, so 0. On my right hand side, how many x term are there? I have ax times 1, so it's plus a. Then I have this b times x, so will be plus b. I already have my a value in the previous step, 1 plus b, so therefore, okay, negative 1 equals to b. So we are done until b. Then the next one we will compare constant. You can see that when we compare the coefficient, we always compare in descending order powers to so-called eliminate which one is an easy one. So what happens is that if that's the case, okay, it'll be easier. Just like when we write polynomial, we write them in descending power to write write them proper. So after x, we have constant. So constant on the left hand side is 5. So by comparing constant, my left hand side is 5. Then my right hand side, okay, for this expansion, there's no constant there. Okay, so we don't need to bother. But for the second set, b times -1, I have minus b, okay, and plus c. So with that, okay, my b is -1, so negative times -1, I have 1, plus c, so my c equals to 4. Okay, so for this, okay, this is how we do by purely comparing. But the best method, okay, no, not here yet. Okay, let's see one more example first. Okay, using purely method 1, substituting number, or purely method 2, comparing. So take a look, practicing it. Okay, first thing, when we are given the question, we have to see there are more than one linear expression inside the bracket. So I have the x minus 2, we have the x plus 1. Okay, so we have 2. So which means that there's a chance that we can sub in maybe 2 numbers. I say maybe, not 100% confirm, but high chance. So let's try. Okay, let x equals to 2, because when x equals to 2, here will be 2 minus 2, it will be 0. If it's 0, my a will be gone. And if here is x equals to 2, 2 minus 2 equals to 0, my b also will be gone. So I'm left with 1 unknown. Then yes, we are in the correct direction. So 3 bracket 2 square plus 2 bracket 2 minus 9. A gone, b gone, so equals to c. So very nice. My c value equals to 7. Good. Then now I use up 1 already, the 2. So I should try the x plus 1. So x plus 1, I sub in -1 to make it 0. So let x equals to -1. So here -1 plus 1 gone, my a gone, but my b will not be gone. Just nice, we need to find b and a. So it will be 3 bracket -1 square plus 2 times -1 minus 9. I'll have a gone, so don't need to put a. -1 minus 2 plus c. So here I'll have -8. Please use your calculator properly. -3b plus 7. So -3b equals to -15. So my b equals to 5. Done. So we found b. Then you can see now, like what I mentioned, there's no more other value to sub in. If student just want to use method 1, which is substituting number, since there's no more linear expression inside the bracket on any side, what is the next number to use? Correct, 0. So we let x equal 0. But like I said, if your b and c value is wrong or are wrong, our a value will be wrong, because we have to use the b and c value to sub the 0. So when x equals 0, so -9 equals to a 0 minus 2, 0 plus 1, 0 minus 2 plus c. So equals to -2a minus 2 times 5 plus 7, -2a minus 10 plus 7. So with this, okay, let's drag to here. I have -9 plus 10 minus 7 equals to -2a. -6 equals -2a. A equals to 3. Okay? So this is if we purely use substituting numbers, which I personally find not very ideal in solving polynomial, whereby one equation have many unknowns. So let's take a look at method 2. Method 2 I find is slightly shorter. Okay, let's take a look at method 2. So copy the questions. 3x squared plus 2x minus 9. A bracket x minus 2 x plus 1 plus b bracket x minus 2 plus c. So by comparing coefficient of x cubed, x square, sorry, x square. Why I compare x square? Because I use the degree of the polynomial on the left side to guide us. So x square on the left side. So on the right side, we only have one term to give us x square, which is this. Okay, so it'll be 3 equals to a. Done. If student cannot visualize, let me show you. This portion, if I expand, I'll have a bracket x square minus x plus 2. That's why there's only one ax square on the right hand side. Okay, then now after x square, I'll compare x lah. But like I said, we have to see. I have checked coefficient of x can work. So compare the coefficient of x. My left hand side coefficient of x is 2, positive 2, so 2. On my right hand side coefficient of x is negative ax, which is negative a. My b also have plus bx, so plus b. Just nice, we need to find b. So with the negative 3 plus b 2, my b equals to 5. Okay, so b equals to 5. So now no more. You can see c on the right hand side is only alone, so it's a constant. So we have to compare the constant by comparing coefficient of constant. By comparing constant. Okay, I have negative 9 equals to negative 2a, where this a times 2. Sorry, here is minus my a times 2. Let me check something. Okay, here should be minus 2, my bad. This should be minus 2. So minus 2a, so minus 2a minus this times this minus 2b and plus c. So with this, minus 2 times 3 minus 2 times 5 then plus c. So with this, I have negative 9 plus 6 plus 10 equals to c. C equals to 7. So this is how we compare coefficient. Okay, but to be honest, in order to do such question in a faster and effective and less working, we have to combine both method 1 and method 2, which is subnumber, and compare coefficient. What do I mean by that? Because question won't insist on which method to use. Let's take a look at one example. So this, they say we have 5x cubed minus 12x plus 7 equals to x minus 1 ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, you can see over here there's only one linear expression inside the bracket, so this is linear, so we only can sub in one numbers. But in this question there are 3 unknowns. That's one thing. And if we follow what is being taught, if I sub in 1, all my a, b, c will be gone, which means that this question purposely force us we cannot sub. So if any of you just want to master one method, certain question, like for example this example, if we sub in 1, this question totally cannot be solved. So we need to be able to master all method and apply all method in any situation. So now what do? We no choice, we have to compare. So just nice, you can see x times ax square is ax cubed, so we'll just compare coefficient of x cubed. So you don't write by also can. So compare coefficient of x cubed, sorry. We'll have 5 equals to ax cubed, so a equals to 5. Very fast, 1 mark. Okay, then next one, what do we do? Okay, for a fast one, okay, there's no order, there's no a mass that you must find the unknown in the order of a, b, c. You can jump. So for this, if you're fast enough, you may observe that the constant is only on the right side, is only minus 1 times c, negative c. So we compare coefficient of, compare constant. Okay, compare constant. So I'll have 7 equals to negative c. So c equals to negative 7. Okay, then when it's done, we have to find b. B, there's a few ways to do. We can compare x square, we compare x. Okay, so I personally choose to compare x. So this only one term only. Oh no, still one more. And this will get x term. So compare coefficient of x. So I'll have negative 12 equals to negative b plus c. C we already have, so it's negative b minus 7. So my b equals to 12 minus 7 equals to 5. Okay, so that's how we master, okay, whether to use whichever methods. So the ideal case, if you want your shorter working, will be combining both sub number and compare coefficient. Thank you.